Picture it, Conrad. Ah, here she is. The Lady of the Spear herself. Conrad, may I introduce you to Jane, commander of the Red Wings, the oldest mercenary guild in the Free Cities.
A pleasure, my lady.
The pleasure is all mine.
As I told you, I summoned the commander here from Canver to inquire about a contract.
Victor says you told him no. That there aren't any men left to hire. Is that true?
True as the crystals cracked. Nobles came and claimed every last one worth his salt. And not just from us Red Wings. You know of the 7 high houses. There must be 2 swords assigned each one. Granted, we have a few boys left. If it's boys you're looking for.
Well, Conrad, are you saying that Dalamul's finest cannot defend this town better than a gaggle of unblooded striplings? That a band of beardless youths could better avenge the deaths of your brave men than you yourselves?
Absolutely not. We'll show those bastards who they're dealing with.
I can't believe that actually worked.
Conrad's not what you call the brightest candle in the crypt. And there's a reason why I had you do the talking and not Sid. Well played, my lady.
My shop.
If I had my pickaxe, I would...
I mean, it may still be possible to buy something. Ah, here he is now. Natalie, allow me to introduce Lord Underhill of Randalar's prestigious League of Merchants.
Lord Underhill. At your service.
Underhill?
I was just telling the good lady of our conversation, my lord, and how you were lamenting the state of the capital's stores.
Lubor says that not only are the granaries almost empty, but that war and the Blight mean this season's harvest won't be enough to fill them for winter.
Indeed, certainly that is the case. The nobles in the capital are buying up the city's stocks of barley and wine, driving the prices higher than most commoners can afford. It is only a matter of time before the peasants revolt.
It is worse than I thought. If what Lord Underhill says is true, I fear we have little hope of supplementing our stores, meager though they regrettably are. And while I applaud your endeavors to dissuade our more bellicose citizens from seeking vengeance, I sense Conrad is not wrong in his assessment of the bandits' likely return. Which means that now, more than ever, we will need to secure what little we still have. Food, weapons, herbs, everything. If our humble town is to endure not only this hardship, but those that are certain to follow, we must stand united.
All right. If it will help to protect my home, I'll do it. But you needn't have gone through this charade.
Thank you, Clive. Your performance was nothing if not workmanlike.
She saw right through it.
No, I didn't say it was good. Merely that it produced the desired effect. Now, my scouts should be returning shortly. Meet me back at the Briar's Kiss, and we shall see what we face.
I'm not convinced our roles in this ruse were entirely necessary.
I don't know. Conrad seemed quite taken with you.
Mummy,
Oh, God.
Good news, Sid. Both Conrad and Natalie have somewhat gracefully accepted their new roles. With time, they may even learn to...
Time no longer appears to be the luxury it was before lunch.
I take it your scouts found the bandits.
Technically, it would be the bandits who found my scouts. It appears they march for Dalamil as we speak. All of them.
You're not serious.
They don't just want food, they want the whole damn town.
I have a favor to ask. I'm told the bandits march in 2 groups, one from the south and one from the desert, in a move doubtless intended to stretch our already gossamer-thin defenses.
Very well. Jill and I will meet those from the desert. But what of the rest?
The rest, my friend, the city shall fight. Together. The stakes, I concede, are high. But if this does not unite Dalamil, nothing will.
That is a lot of faith to put into those who had their hands around each other's throats but a moment ago.
Then it will be for us to see that their hands are kept occupied. And I do mean us.
I thought you might say that.
We'll hold them off for as long as we can.
And we will do the same.
The women folk have come to welcome us.
I'll take that one.
He's all yours.
The townspeople. Could they have held out?
I don't hear any fighting. What do you think?
That we should hurry.
Natalie, I owe you an apology. You did well out there. The inn would have been lost had you not held the line.
Without you, there would have been no line to hold. You saved us, Conrad. You saved Alamil.
We all saved Alamil.
Conrad seems to have had a change of heart.
I'd say they both have.
I take it from your presence that our visitors from the desert won't be joining us either. Pity.
The plan worked, Sid. Granted, it only took an army of bloodthirsty bandits at our gate.
Come now, Victor. Why quibble over the details? We are united, and that is all that matters. As for you, Sid, you fight considerably better than you act.
I'll take that as a compliment. Martha, it's good to see you.
And you, Clive. Jill?
Otto said you'd been attacked by a Kashik. What exactly happened here?
Those skies are what happened. Not long after they fell dark, we had our first visit. There were hundreds of them. Tried to storm the hill. Only a handful made it up here, but that was more than enough. The rest are still down there now. And while we have a few willing fighters holding them back, they're sorely outnumbered.
What do you think, Clive?
That we join the fight?
I thought you'd never offer. Now, where I need you is the Fallen Gate. That's where the fighting is fiercest. Let the men know you've come to help. Something tells me they'll be pleased to see you.
We're on our way.
Do you think there are as many as Martha says?
More.
You don't think they've abandoned us?
Come on.
Clive, wounded.
We deal with the Akashic first.
These men don't have the look of hired swords.
if you've come to rob this place.
You are mistaken, my Lord Rosfield. We're here by Madame Martha's leave.
How do you know my name?
Forgive me, my lord. There wasn't time for introductions. We're with the Guardians of the Flame.
Wade's men? But how did you come to be here? Where is your commander?
Sir Wade left earlier with a scouting party to find out where the Akashic were coming from.
Did he? Take your wounded back to the inn. Martha will see you're looked after. We'll join you anon.
And to think you took them for thieves. A fine reward for holding off the horde, that is.
When did Wade and his men arrive?
Not long after Rosalith fell. The Guardians asked me to shelter some of them that had lost their homes. They were making ready to leave just as the skies turned, and we agreed it was best we stuck together.
Martha! Trouble! The scouting party's almost at the lift, but they got a pack of Akashic snapping at their heels! And they've got wounded with them! They're not gonna make it!
Damn it all.
We'll worry about them, Martha.
You look after everyone here. If any can still fight, send them to the lift.
I will. You two be safe now.
Mad dogs.
Squire, I need you to get those who can still walk up the lift to Martha's. But what about... I didn't ask, Oscar. Sir.
Sir Wade.
Lord Rosfield. If you aren't a sight for sore eyes.
Martha seemed to think you might need some help. And by the looks of it...
We thought we could sneak by them. But we didn't know there would be so many. How could we have?
Behind you!
Damn it! We need to get the injured to safety.
Do you think we can hold them off?
We can certainly try. Are you with us, Sir Wade?
Always.
Then let's do our duty.
Is anyone hurt?
I don't think so.
And yet again, you've pulled me from the flames. It's just a pity I keep walking into them.
You've never been one to shy away from danger, Sir Wade. Like any shield worthy of the name.
I see you're all in one piece.
Martha!
Is something wrong?
The lookout saw smoke coming from down Eastpool way. Too thick to be a hearth.
A second horde.
Feel like finishing the job.
Always.
Jill and I will make for Eastpool.
哎 ，Hello Albert， 这集有在忙啊，忙着玩什么 game？
The moment my men are safe, I'll follow. Good luck.
我忙工作，忙工作是好事情，有工作才有钱呐。一点都不好玩。工作回来就能玩了吗？哦，你是公务员哦。马来西亚的公务员铁饭碗呢。虽然无聊是无聊。
They're headed for the rest.
We have to slow them down. Martha and the others won't be ready.
Slow.
所以你是公务员，你是做什么的？哪方面的公务员哦？我很好奇。哦，老师。Oh my god， 你是老师哦！老师是我最尊敬的职业，所以我需要salute。老师不容易做诶，看不出，看不出。我中学也是有一个老师很爱玩 game， 不过那已经是20多年前的事情了。混了14年了。现在小孩子越来越难教了。我自己也就有孩子啊，我当然知道现在小孩子的是，哎，越来越难搞。我现在看到现在小孩都在那边摇头。还好有发泄情绪，总要有发泄管道，不可能把发泄在小孩子身上嘛，是不是
I think that was the last of them.
But it won't be long before the next lot arrive.
Then we make for Martha's while we can.
每天面对30个孩子，20多个动物也跑出来的。
What did you find out there?
The same as Sir Wade. Scores of Akashic.
Well, wherever they came from, they're gone now. Our lookouts say the lowlands are clear. Hopefully we'll have enough time to lick our wounds.
How many of your men were injured?
A damn sight less than if you hadn't turned up. Thank you.
It was a hard-fought victory. But as long as the skies remain dark, I fear the Akashic's numbers are only going to rise. It's not a matter of if the Horde will be back, but when. And whether that's sooner or later, we'll need to be ready. The inn here affords a good view of the land, and is easily defendable. I'd like to make this one of our outposts.
What do you say, Martha? You'd have more men to guard the rest.
Well, when you put it like that, of course they can stay.
所以老师的心理素质很强大。我知道老师的心理素质很强大，我自己也曾经是小屁孩，我自己也是曾经从动物园里面跑出来，来气老师的。
My lord, there's someone I'd like you to meet. Oscar, over here. It is an honor to make your acquaintance, Lord Rossfield. I am Oscar. Oscar of House Murdoch.
Murdoch? I wasn't aware the Lord Commander had children.
Oh, he didn't. But his brother, my father, did. I am Sir Rodney's nephew. Well, go on, then. It's not for me to ask him. Yes, Sir Wade. If it please you, my Lord Marquis, might you take me as your squire? I would learn the duties of a shield from the finest.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Oscar, but I'm a shield no longer. Nor was I ever the finest. And spending time in the company of an outlaw hardly seems a fitting education for one aspiring to take his oaths.
My Aunt Hannah once told me that a man is not defined by his title, but what he does in its name. You have accomplished much since taking on the mantle of Cid, winning no little honor in so doing. And I would sooner serve under an honorable outlaw than an unworthy shield. Not that Sir Wade and the other Guardians are... I mean to say that, they're... It's all right. We know what you mean. There is only so much the boy can learn from me, my lord.
But a squire...
Would that really be so bad? You were a squire once. And I'm certain Sir Rodney would approve.
Know that I'll show you as much leniency as your uncle showed me.
I would not have it any other way.
First we find Isabel.
Heard a bloke saying he saw ghosts.
I saw it with my own eyes.
I can't do it.
My lord. My lady.
We received the dame's message. There have been sightings of strange creatures, I understand.
With the blue eyes. Yes. Like a Kashik, but different. They've taken so many. I've lost count.
Akashic, but different.
Ultimus thralls. And what of your mistress? Is she here?
Oh, no. She went to the garrison to ask what they were planning on doing about all this.
Then we'll look for her there.
We could leave.
Madame, please!
Half the garrison's been slaughtered by those things. We lost the captain this very morning.
We've tried requesting reinforcements, but there's been no word from the capital or the Dominion in days! What more would you have us do?
I would have you do your duty. Those at the Vale look to me for protection. And protect them I shall. Because they are my charges, and that is my duty. In case you have forgotten, the people of this town are your charges. But more than that, they are your people. Your sisters, your brothers, your lovers. So you have a choice. Lay down your sword and watch as they are slaughtered, or take it up and do what is right.
She speaks the truth, you know. This here, it's all we have. It's all that's left.
What we have left is our lives! Do you really want us to lose them as well?
Not if we don't have to. Look, there's a cask under the captain's bunk. Let's talk about this over a drink, eh?
I'm listening.
I'll have a word with him.
Ah, Clive. I didn't expect help to arrive so quickly. And sought to take matters into my own hands.
It was a noble effort, but I thought you might still need some support.
How like you to consider my needs. What we need to consider is where the creatures came from. The way the survivors speak of them, one would think they appeared out of thin air. And perhaps they did. It's hard to know what to believe these days.
We'll talk to the survivors. You're a pikeman, yes? What happened?
I've got family in Moor. I heard the flood was spreading, so I went to see if they were all right. And a pack of them glowing things found me in the meadow. I ran for my life. I never did get to the village.
Leave that to us.
Don't leave me, Paul.
It's all right. Give me your arm.
Did you see the creatures that attacked you?
Creatures? Yeah, They came out of nowhere. They went for Joseph first, then me, and then they were just gone.
Do you remember where you were?
On the road from Oriflamme. We just passed Moor when... Where's my Joseph?
It's all right. Just rest now. At least we have an idea of where the thralls might be now. We should head for more.
I assume you have a plan?
It was all they could do to escape.
Good girl.
Clive, look!
I see them. With me! Nice try. Save your strength. Get him. Do you think there are more?
There are always more. But I'd say we've done what we can for the time being.
Then we should let Isabel know.
You have the town's thanks.
Don't thank us yet. There will be more. Many more. And you'll need to be ready for them.
Oh, we shall. Isn't that right, Captain?
Yes, milady. The garrison will be ready.
Philippe here has convinced most of the men to remain at their posts. For now, at least.
Hearing that the Dane would look kindly on any man who committed himself to the task certainly didn't hurt. It's not the most selfless of motives, I'll admit. But whatever it takes, eh? Now me, I never needed convincing. I became a soldier to protect the people I love. And the people I love include the ones standing before me.
Handsome and chivalrous.
Now, if you don't mind, I have sentries to post. Milady.
Lest you wonder, I'm not foolish enough to believe that this has solved all of my problems. But it has solved one, and that's one fewer than I had this morning. Thank you again, Clive.
Our friends seem to have things under control. For now, at least. Let's go and put Otto's mind at rest.
Did you see that?
Was wondering when you turn up. Hellos from all our friends thanking you for your timely intervention. How is it you always manage to arrive at just the right moment?
Luck, I suppose. Any word on the rest of the realm?
Let's see. Storm's still crying out for mother crystals. The nations are still in chaos. And the skies are still the color of a kick in the kidneys 2 days on. So...
Right.
Clive, we knew this was going to happen. Well, not the bleeding skies part, but you take my point. Now's not the time to second-guess yourself. Now's the time to visit the infirmary. Talia says your brother's awake.
Thank you, Otto.
So it was not Sylvester, but Olivier who served as Ultima's puppet. And when Dion learned of this, he sought to slay the fiend. Only for his father to take the spear that would have freed him. Enough to drive a man to madness.
Small wonder he hasn't stirred. I would be afraid to wake.
Had I but reached out to him sooner, warned him of the threat Ultima posed. But now, both an empire and her prince lie broken.
Joshua, what do you know of Ultima?
Very little, I'm afraid. Despite my best efforts. 18 years ago, as I lay buried beneath the rubble of Phoenix Gate, 'twas not death who came for me, but another. And it was while in my rescuer's care, I first heard of Ultima. I've been chasing his shadow ever since. Ultima is driven by some deep, dark purpose, and for whatever reason, it would seem you are crucial to his designs. He will stop at nothing to have you, even if that means toppling an empire.
But why me? What possible use could I be to such a creature?
That is one of many answers that have eluded me. Yet, I am certain of this. It is not mere chance. You were chosen for a reason. All dominants carry within them the might of an icon. Nigh limitless power that is at once acutely limited. I wield fire, and only fire.
And I only ice. 8 wardens for 8 elements. But you, Clive.
You are different. You're special. Your abilities begin with the flames of Ifrit. But they do not end there. The fact Ifrit can even exist goes against everything we thought we knew of dominance. Perhaps Ultima has been waiting for one such as you, whose potential is truly limitless.
I've encountered that thing several times now. If it or he, as you say, needs me, why hasn't he claimed me as he did the boy?
Were I to hazard a guess, I'd say the two of you are somehow incompatible. His mind not properly attuned to your body.
His mind?
Mind, awareness, spirit, call it what you wish. But I believe Ultima to be an embodiment of the concept. It is why I struggle and fail to contain him here inside me.
I'm sorry. Inside you?
With every setting sun, I feel my strength wane. And though the Phoenix's flames mend the prison I have made for Ultima, they do so at a cost. We must find a means to bring an end to him, before I meet my own.
What were you thinking?
It was that or let him take Clive. And I've always had a soft spot for my brother.
But that doesn't mean you should sacrifice yourself to save me.
Joshua!
Clive! It's Gav! There's an army of Akashic at the gates of Canver.
Well, what's the short of it?
I thought Tyre told you. The capital of the Free Cities is under siege by an army of monstrosities. The City Guard are doing their best to stem the tide, but numbers ain't on their side.
What of Lord Byron and Mid? Were they able to escape?
No, but they're all right for now. They're hiding with Gav at midship.
We have to get them out of there.
And we shall. Otto, prepare a Stolas. Tell Gav to stay exactly where he is.
Understood.
Vivian, what's the swiftest route to the Free Cities?
That sounds like a question for the map. Look here. This road, through Tabor, should provide the least trouble.
Good.
What a coincidence. Tabor is exactly where I'm bound.
Joshua, bed is where you should be bound.
You don't think I told him the exact same thing?
Were Tyre not such a talented healer, I would surely have been inclined to agree. But, thanks to her ministrations, I feel I may safely rejoin my attendant, who was to wait for me in Tabor if we became separated.
All right, we travel together.
Clive!
If he stays close to me, he'll be fine.
Thank you, brother.
I'll look after him.
Seems the hideaway.
That blasted book. Here, you put me in this situation, Clive. You can bloody well get me out of it. I need a hand with a recipe.
Are you sure it's me you're looking for?
I'm all the cook will be needing, thank you very much. What I want from you is a little of your time, right? Oh, and perhaps your sword. You remember Ivan's stew, right? Well, despite the look of the thing, and that awful stench, so I thought I'd try making one of these supposed masterpieces myself.
It wasn't as straightforward as you'd hoped?
Yeah, but this is my blooming kitchen, and I will not be outdone. So if you don't want to be seen as playing favourites, I suggest you lend me a hand.
I've never been one to play favorites, Molly. And I would be only too happy to lend you a hand. So, what's on the menu this time?
A fried mortress of skyworm. That's one heck of a name, innit? Recipe seemed easy enough to an old hand like myself. Thought I'd followed it to a T. Only, turns out skyworm livers and drake's mint are not what I thought they were. At least I hope they're not, given the rancid mess they made.
Ivan said the recipes in the culinary pilgrimage date back centuries. Who's to say the ingredients even exist anymore?
Wow. That's a question for a scholar, wouldn't you, kindly old fella who haunts the shelves, maybe?
Fine. I'll go and speak to Harpocrates, and if he does, I'll see if I can find your ingredients for you.
You do that. Lest we forget, you've got a reputation to uphold.
Is a storm coming, Sid?
Lawsman Harpocrates, I've come to pick your brain if you don't mind. It's about the book you lent Ivan.
Ah, Valisthea, a culinary pilgrimage, a classic. One of my favorites, in fact. The young man did a wonderful job with the Chance's stew. I do hope we shall be able to sample more such marvels in due course.
That's actually why I'm here. I don't suppose you know where I might find skyworm livers and drake's mint.
Ah, so the fabled Sandbrequois delicacy is next on the menu. Delightful. The descriptions of fried mortress never fail to make my mouth water. Now, skyworm is a somewhat antiquated name for the wyvern, their ground livers being the paste from which the mortress is made.
Dragon livers. How very Sandbrequois.
One would have thought the disciples of Bahamut would have a touch more reverence for their icon's brethren, but apparently not. I believe the specific dragon the recipe demands is the blueback wyvern, said to be the very color of the sea beside which it resides.
So we know where to look for our liver. But what about the drake's mint?
Saint's bonnet in contemporary parlance, a herb which grows along the North Reach coast. I gather that one can locate the cheerful yellow flowers by their heady scent alone, so I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding them. I may add that people once believed game was best served with the flora that sustained it in life, in which regard fried mortress of skyworm is undoubtedly a typical dish of the time.
Meaning that if I find one, I find the other.
Best of luck, Clive, and do save me a bite once the dish is complete.
Sid, perhaps you can help me solve a mystery.
I can certainly try. Who's gone?
It's not who, but what. Mid-scales. The ones she made for her workshop. I borrowed them to teach the little ones about weight, and shortly after the lesson, my first thought was that they'd taken them off somewhere to play, but when I asked, they swore they had nothing to do with their having disappeared. Which almost certainly means they had everything to do with it.
Perhaps a visit from Sid will jog their memories.
I think it just might. Thank you. I don't like to imagine that my pupils would lie to me. But if they have, I'll have no choice but to discipline them accordingly. They were in the atrium when I last saw them. As always.
Seems the hideaway is lost.
It's like a dream. The four of us out walking like we used to.
Enjoying this, are you? Gav and the others could be in danger as we speak.
You're right. Sorry. Yote is a fine scout. If Candle was attacked, she will already have begun gathering information.
Tabor isn't far. We should pick up the pace.
Come on.
Fly, Ambrosia. We can use the ruins to cross the ravine.
Assuming they would allow it, the Echoes have a will of their own.
All right. Nice try.
This one. Over here.
Display, brother.
Good girl.
Faster.
Tell us about Yote, Joshua.
She's strong-willed, loyal, and deadly with a blade. Much like Clive, but with better manners.
You're injured. What happened here? Where are your comrades?
Ether flood up ahead. It swallowed our camp while we slept. My own men did this. Turned every last one of them. There's a village not far from here. Tabor. The people were kind to us. It's only a matter of time before... We can't let those monsters...
I'll go. You catch your breath.
Thank you. Forgive me, Lord Kuka.
Rest well, soldier.
You said the encampment was close. Let's hope the Akashic are still there.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Another ether flood. They're everywhere now.
We can't go around it.
Then we'll just have to be careful.
Good. I got here in time.
Is someone there? Please, I can't move my leg.
That doesn't sound like an Akashic. You're with the battalion?
I am. I heard the fighting. Are the others?
Taken care of. One of your brothers in arms told me what happened and asked for help.
Another survivor? Where is he? Tell me.
His wounds were too deep.
He was right to send you. Those things you slew are no longer my brothers. Tabor is safe thanks to you. Here, you've earned it. You seem familiar. Have we met?
You must have me confused with someone else.
Wait. That scar.
Son of a whore. You're Sid. I was there, in Cosnis, when you killed my brothers. I was there in Rosalith, when you killed my commander.
My war with Hugo Kupka is over. I bear no ill will toward those who followed him.
And what of my ill will? Coward! Draw your steel. Lord Kupka shall be avenged!
When your wounds have healed and your head has cooled, come and find me if you must. Though I hazard your life would be better spent in service of those who need it. Or have you forgotten your oath to the Republic?
My oath? What would you know of oaths?
I know how hard they are to keep. Which is why I'm giving you the chance to keep yours.
No. I won't be deceived. Lord Kupka told us of your crimes. You are an outlaw. A murderer, not some
man. Like you or anyone else.
I am nothing like you. But if you're not gonna kill me, then go. Leave! Just know that I will find you, Sid. Someday.
Good girl. You deserve a rest.
We're nearly there.
Have you been to Tabor before?
There are a few places I haven't.
Where now, Joshua?
There is a residence just inside the city gates. She awaits us within.
My Lord Marquis, it is an honor. I am Yote, Knight of the Undying, charged with the protection of His Grace Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix.
Of course. It all makes sense now.
Would you care to elaborate?
The Undying are loyal servants to the ducal throne. Or more specifically, to its heir. They have served our family for generations, albeit from the shadows.
Since their inception, they have been tasked with the preservation and enactment of the rites of ancestral communion. After the events at Phoenix Gate, it was the Undying who delivered me to safety. And since the day I left Rosaria, Yote has been my constant companion and protector. Without her sword, I would not have survived my journey across the realm.
Rise, Lady Yote. You saved my brother. I owe you a debt I can never repay.
I but did my duty.
Come now. Tell us what you've discovered.
Your Grace. It is as you feared. The vessel we spied off the coast of the Crystalline Dominion on the night of her fall. It was the Einherjar. Beyond any doubt.
The Black Galleon.
Joshua, the Einherjar is the Royalists' flagship. What business would they have in the Dominion?
Upon learning of Waloed's involvement in recent events at Drake's Fang, I sensed the malign influence of Ultima, and bid Yote and the Undying look into the matter.
We have reason to believe that the Black Galleon weighed anchor shortly after the fighting began, and set a course due south.
For Canva. Then it is Waloed Knights who besiege the cities.
What is left of them, yes. And the Black Galleon sails at but one man's behest. Barnabas Tharm.
But are we truly safe here in the Agora?
The city guard have been paid, if that's what you're implying.
All the more reason for them to run.
Well, you are free to leave, Lord Minister.
Markets abandoned, warehouses aflame, blackened hulls choking every port in the capital. Canva is ruined.
The realm teeters on the brink of chaos, and all you can think about is commerce!
Forgive us. We were not aware Dhalmekia now subsisted on charity.
Quite.
How dare you!
Distinguished members of the Council, you must forgive His Majesty this intrusion.
What is the meaning of this?
A trifle crowded, but I fear it will have to serve, my liege.
Very well.
My colleagues, do you not see? The king, he has come to save us from the Akashic. He is a gift from the heavens, divine intervention, our very salvation.
And of course, if it is compensation he requires, we would be most willing to negotiate a fair price for services rendered.
Fools. Your ignorance unbecomes you.
Your Majesty, correct me if I'm wrong, but I would swear that the fiends washing the cobbles of Canva with the blood of her citizens wear the colors of Waloed. Ha! So you do not deny it. Guards, fetter them, and see our guests to the dungeons!
Enough. Pathetic creatures. That you should imagine yourselves worthy of salvation. The girl is still here, somewhere in the city. Her consciousness fair dripping with her late father's hubris. A consciousness to which Mythos is inextricably bound and inexorably drawn. See that he is made welcome.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Come, Mythos. Surely the prince's light cannot have sated you.
So then, how long has Waloed been under Ultima's control?
How long indeed? Based on what we know of Barnabas's actions, I would guess some few years, mayhap more.
But to what end? What does Ultima want?
The tapestry. Show them.
By the flames.
Phoenix Gate, Drake's Breath, and now here. But what is it?
It is old, ancient, even. Naught remains of the faith it represents, save what can be gleaned from the image itself. None could tell me what the one in the apothecary meant, even the Undying. But I believe it may be the key to discerning Ultima's purpose. That figure in the center, the one beneath whom the icons congregate, that I believe to be Ultima. He is a god, or at least godlike, his very existence beyond our ken. The icons, and by extension their dominants, are meant to be his subjects, and while some, like Barnabas, have accepted this role, others have rejected it. Like you, Clive, which is rather inconvenient, as it appears he needs you most of all. And gods don't like to be disobeyed.
No, I don't suppose they do.
Clive, may I tell Yote of the lake?
By all means.
Yote, I will be accompanying my brother to the Free Cities. Whilst we are afield, I would have you watch over those Clive has made his wards. Umielos delan tuisag ilith. Though well concealed, the hideaway lacks trained fighters to defend its occupants should they be discovered.
But it is my duty to...
As it has ever been my brother's duty. remember.
If that is your wish, Your Grace. But please be safe. If aught were to befall you,
You have my word.
Farewell, my lord, my lady.
We are in your debt, Yotei.
Let's find our friends.
It's plain she cares for you very deeply.
And I her, which is why I had to let her go. Cyril. How fares the search?
Well, Your Grace, my report shall be with you ere long.
Ah, yes. Yotei is otherwise engaged, at my behest.
And the duty of wardenship?
Fulfilled. For as you see, I've been reunited with my first shield.
I am Cyril, Knight of the Undying and bearer of the Burning Quill, charged with chronicling the mortal deeds of His Grace, Joshua Rosfield, Keeper of the Flame of the Phoenix, and rightful Archduke of Rosaria.
I entrusted Cyril here with overseeing the investigation into Ultima's origins. Findings from his brothers and sisters afield are delivered here to be collated and catalogued.
Just how many Undying are there?
Not nearly enough, milady. Yet we are glad to give our all in service to the Phoenix. Such is, and has ever been, our creed.
I see.
You have your associates, I have mine. But you may now think of them as ours. That won't be a problem, will it?
The Phoenix is our sun, and we but the shadows that quicken in his radiance. It is from the darkness that we serve, both him and now you. Pray accept this token. For as long as you bear it, members of our order will reveal themselves unto you, if there is nothing further.
No. You are dismissed.
Your Grace.
To Canva, then.
We'll talk about this later. Cyril seemed very, You certainly keep strange bedfellows, Joshua.
The free cities and a sea.
Yeah!
Orcs. Then let us be rid of them.
Straight home now.
Clive. Smoke.
Is the city fallen?
The free men are still holding their own, then.
Do we have any idea where Gav and the others might be?
There's a warehouse near the docks where we agreed to meet if there was any trouble. We should hurry.
Ah, Clive. Just the man I was hoping to see.
Oh? And why is that?
You remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the... Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus. Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them animals at bay. I ain't daft after, but we ain't got nowhere for 'em to bed down. Poor buggers are having to make do with haylofts and chocobo pens. I'd build 'em a new barracks here if I could, but where would I put 'em? There just ain't enough room up here on the rock. Which leaves us in a bit of a pickle. The people we're counting on to keep us safe are living like beggars.
I see.
And it ain't just that lot. There's bears to think about too. There's been more and more of them turning up lately, coming from all over looking for safe haven, but there's only so many we can shelter with the room we've got. We can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space. What we need is a new home for... And that's what I was hoping you might help me with. If it ain't too much of a...
It's no burden.
Thank you, Clive.
So, where were you thinking of?
Well, I reckon we could do a lot worse than Eastpool.
Eastpool. It's been a long time since I thought about that place.
It was a tragedy, what happened. And if any of us could have done anything to stop it, But what's done is done. And those who lived there wouldn't have wanted the village they loved to be...
I suppose you're right.
The blight might be pressing in, but I reckon it's got a good few years left in it yet. There's just one problem. A band of cutthroats have made it their den. And they don't seem like they'll be moving on in a... Nasty bastards they are too. I've lost some good men. Would have sent someone to clear 'em out sooner, if my boys didn't already have their hands full, fending off the Akashic. But now we've got a few more guardians of the flame to call on. I reckon it's time we made our move. What do you...
I do. Eastpool was once home to people I loved. I won't have bandits sully those memories.
And I know the men will gladly... I've already shared a few thoughts with Sir Wade about how... And I dare say he's got some ideas of his own too.
Of course.
Reckon Eastpool would make a nice little home for a few bears.
Back to Eastpool, then.
Not just yet. Let's hear Wade's plan first. So, Wade.
And you, Lord Rosfield. And you.
I spoke with Martha. She tells me you have plans to...
That's right. Though it was... I rather fear my men have been treading on her and then there are the bearers. Men and women who found the courage to flee their We need somewhere to settle them. And I can think of worse places than Eastpool.
As can I. Which is why I agreed to...
That's very kind of you. With you beside us, we shall soon send that...
So?
That thankfully there aren't too many of them. And rather less, thankfully. The road that leads there will more than likely still be... A small force would suffice to clear the village. But if the Akashic were to follow them in...
I'll head into Eastpool and deal with the bandits. You and the Guardians can stay outside the village and fend off any Akashic. Make sure I'm not taken unaware.
I can't ask you to bear all that risk yourself.
The Akashic are the bigger risk. I can handle it.
Well, I shall summon my men at once.
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord.
All right.
We shall see you there.
Who the hell are you? Kill them!
You will leave this place, or face the consequences. That's the end of that, then. Or maybe not. What's that thing doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes too. Slow. Nice try. Glad you're here. Over here! Get him! Nice try. More surprises? I'll take that as a no.
Bravo. A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching? I thought you were keeping an eye out for a Kashik.
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived just in time to see you slay that... whatever it was.
Let's hope it was the last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be up to the challenge should another appear.
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away, before any other unsavory characters move in.
Of course. I'll send orders for them to depart immediately. Leave it with me, my lord.
Home. No. We're the masters now.
That's all of them. And not a single account. Now to begin the important work of rebuild. It won't be easy. Especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having... The masonry might still be sturdy enough, but half the beams are rotted. Those that weren't lost in the fire. It'll take a bit of elbow grease. But we'll see Eastpool...
So wait. Lady Hannah is back, if you don't mind. I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts. He should be a part of this.
Of course.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more, you have only to...
And we will, my lord. Safe.
Eastpool lives again.
Let's go and tell Martha the good news.
Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept an eye. What's all this about? Some shapeshift? On second thoughts, don't. It'll only give me nightmares of me own. What matters is...
I suppose it will be.
What else? Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place. But that don't undo the good that happened there. No need to throw the baby out with the...
Did Wade say that?
Well, something along those lines. Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool. So the way I see it, not if it's food or lumber...
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you.
I wanted to.
Clive, we weren't expecting...
I wasn't expecting, but it seems we still owe you and though I doubt it's what you were expecting.
A star, Ruby? It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the...
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me anyway. Why are you the one here asking me? A bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it?
Something like that. Most days I think...
Same as all. Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never... Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it.
His death was hard on everyone. But
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That...
But there were ghosts at the gates, not days. Those things.
Milady, I come.
Gifts? Oh my. Clive, you...
Otto asked me to give it to you to settle the hideaway's debt with the and to...
You disappoint me, Clive. I thought you might finally be warming to me. Tell Otto he can keep his baubles. I tried to tell him as the man owes me nothing. My contribution to the restoration effort was made freely and willingly.
You once told me Sid did you a kindness. I'd like to do the same. And for Otto's. For all of us.
Otto is lucky to... I doubt anything could ever replace his son. But you and the others at the hideaway are the closest thing he has to family.
Otto had a son.
Long ago, yes. Sid told me Otto lost him when he was just a boy and blamed himself for not being able to stop it. I don't know how it happened, whether there was anything he could have done. But it was clear that it weighed heavily on him.
I didn't know.
How could you have? Besides Sid, I've never met a man more keen to bear his sorrows in stoic silence. An ill habit, given that both have always been surrounded by friends desperate to help them.
I'm beginning to see that. Goat will want to know the stones were delivered. If he's still with us.
To the meadows, then.
Come on.
Faster!
Hippocrates said I should be able to find what I'm looking for somewhere nearby. Bright blue dragons and bright yellow flowers. Should be easy enough to spot. Straight home now. This must be our wyvern. All right. Let's get this over with. That's the wyvern's liver. Now I just need to find the herbs. Bright yellow with a heady scent. I think that's everything Molly needs to resurrect her recipe.
Seems the hideaway's lost its...
So?
I did, and he was as helpful as a...
And what precisely will I be cooking up?
Blueback wyvern liver. And...
Ah, wyvern livers, was it? Well, now then. You stay right where... Let's out these grand old chefs of yours. And here we have it. Fried mortress of skyworm. Ivan's offered to make sure it's fit for consumption. Well, I say offered.
And rightly so. Is there any higher honor than partaking in it?
So, not.
What the crackle of the crust gives way to an almost violent richness. Yet, it is it is a tour de force. A force of nature, even.
I think he likes it.
Well, I can't quite tell with all that nonsense he's talking.
Decent. It's remarkable. And I defy any man to say a word to the... Sid, might I suggest that you command a party of your finest men and women to procure...
I'll give it some thought.
Did you see that?
Good. So Lady Karen accepted the...
Ah, but she was just too stubborn to tell. She threw it right back in my face, in fact, and told me I could...
Karen refused...
I hope it wasn't something I said.
I'm sure you were as tactful as ever.
Oh.
Lady Karen, Goad tells me you weren't happy with... Would you prefer the debt was
What debt? I don't recall lending any. I may have tossed a talent or two in the hideaway, but those were donations. And you can hardly call it charity if you...
Of course not. But one good turn deserves another. Surely you wouldn't shun the gratitude of a pauper who happened to have become a prince.
Oh, fine. But I'm selling it and taking what I'm owed, then you're getting the rest whether you like it or not. Where'd you even get this? A decent trader might nab 1,000. A canny one, meanwhile, might claim it were nicked from the belt of Sid the Outlaw. Might be I already have a buyer in mind. Might be you even know her. A fine continental maid whose beauty's own. You wouldn't mind, would you?
Not at all.
I hear you ended up delivering all... Thanks to this lump. I sometimes wonder what I pay you for.
Speaking of which,
Oh! So you remember what's owed to you, then? Get your ass behind that disc of yours and don't get up before those ledgers... Right.
I've seen that before.
Yeah. Plenty of times. It was the only goblet Sid ever used. Either out of habit, or because the filthy sod couldn't be bothered to find it.
I knew so little about him.
Like most people.
Martha and the Dame both seem to have fond memories of him. How long did you know Sid before?
Before he died. 20 summers, give or take. Back in the day, I was a purser on a trade ship, which is where I met him. He bought passage to, oh, forget where. And that was set up drinking Island rum till the morning bell dragged me back. Quit my post not long after that, on account of making a fine maiden's belly fat. But me and Sid stayed close, promising we'd one day sail the seas again. That was before fate stepped in and said she was having none of it. The magic woke inside my son soon after his first name day, and there was no hiding his knack.
Couldn't you and your family have?
My family were the ones who summoned the constable, wanted the monster taken away. I couldn't turn my back on him, and I couldn't for the life of me understand how they could. Luckily, Sid was of the same mind as me. It was him who stood beside me when all I want, him who cried for me, him who swore he'd do everything he could to stop it from happening again. And he was true to his word, too. Left the Royal Army once and for all. His ranks, his ribbon, threw away everything he had. All to right a wrong that no one else. I knew then I'd follow that man. He was always too clever for his own good, was Sid. Saw the world for what it really was, while the rest of us were content to go along with the lie we were shown. And it can't have been easy, bearing that burden alone. But he didn't let it stop him. He never lost faith in what he believed was right. And that gave us faith in him. Faith he'd steer us true. So I swore to myself that I'd always be right behind him, ready to catch the stubborn sod, if ever he should fall. But I couldn't even do that. Ignore me, just the ramblings of a tired old man. Leave that lot. I'll tidy it up in a bit.
This is Sid's handwriting. Dear Otto.
I may be drunk, but I wanted you to know this place would be fucked without you. Love you, you grumpy old sod.
This note.
Hmm? What about it?
Sid was right. Without you, we'd all be lost.
He should have bloody well said so then. Just once. Before he went. But then, why would he? Him, or anyone? I'd only have told him to piss off. You're wrong, though. Both of you. It was never just me keeping the hideaway afloat. It was all of us. I just shoved people in the right direction. I barely seem to be able to do that anymore.
Would you rather goat at the helm?
Well, maybe I've got a few more years left in me.
I'm going to hold you to that, Otto.
Before you go, Sid would have wanted you to have this.
But that's...
This'll do me just fine. Thanks for the ray of sunshine. I'll see if I can't pay you back.
Already have.
What do you reckon we should do?
Sid! Hard at your studies, I see. It's not a set of scales, is it?
No.
Well, not anymore, it's not. Oh!
And just how long hasn't it been one?
We're sorry.
But we didn't break them. We dismembered them.
Just like Miss Mididol showed us.
Miss Mididol? And why would she have you dismembering her creation?
Because that's the only way to become a ninja-neer.
Miss Mididol said, the best way to see how something works is to take it apart and put it back together again.
Well then, your work is already half done. Carry on.
The taking apart was easy enough, but...
Speak for yourself. The heavy thing goes at the bottom. Then...
You three need to learn to take responsibility. So let's have a look at these parts with fresh eyes. All right. Everything here was... Every piece has its own role to play, and if even one of them is missing, the scales won't work. So let's think about what those roles might be. You already know one of the pieces. The body. Its role is to support everything else. But what of the... This is called the arm. Why do you suppose that is? It doesn't look much like an arm.
You're right. It looks more like...
You've ridden a chocobo before, haven't you, Sid?
I'll think about it.
Hold things. So wait, maybe this arm holds things too?
Good thinking. You're on the right. These round parts are called the pans. You all know what a pan is, don't you?
I do. Molly uses them, but these aren't for frying bangers, you idiot. But what if I wanted to weigh goots? I don't think you'd fit on that little thing.
What are the chains for? Holding the pans up?
Well spotted. Which means something must hold the chains up in turn. This tiny piece is what's called a cogwheel, or gear. Have you ever...
I have. Miss Mididol's dungeon is full of them. Most are on the floor.
She puts them in all her inventions. They spin round and round and round and round and...
That's right. They're very useful when you want to make things move. Do you remember if there was anything on the scales?
I remember the arm moved when I tried weighing an apple. And then some...
Not my fault.
You know what part's supposed to move and how it's supposed to. Let's put the pieces together first, see what doesn't move, and then stick the cogwheel to that.
Not a bad idea. So, now that we've taken stock of the parts and learned what they do...
I think we've got it.
Then here's what we'll do. You tell me what goes where, and I'll put the scales together.
Well, obviously you need to start with the body. All the
And the arms go on the body, just like real arms. Or wings. And then the arms hold the pans by the chain.
Very good. All finished.
Yes!
Well, with Sid's help.
Oh, I just put the pieces together.
That's right. We're Miss Mididol's heirs.
Her hairs?
Yeah. Heirs for the future. She's showing us her secrets now, so we can help out the hideaway when...
What do you think, Sid?
With a little more help from Miss Mididol and Miss Shirley.
You hear that?
Until then, though, do try to be honest with Miss Shirley.
Hey, look!
You don't think Sid forgot about it?
Did you see that?
Is a storm coming, Sid? Will there be...
Well?
It was as you thought. The children had the scales, or they dismantled them to see how they...
Oh, no, Mid will have my...
Thankfully she won't. Although I was the one who ended up teaching the lesson.
I'm so sorry, Sid. I shall see that the children are properly...
Please, there's no need. Mid seems to have taken the three of them under her wing. She'd have them follow in her footsteps.
I see. Sid, do you know why Mid has been...
She told me it was because her studies have been interrupted by events in Canva.
No, it isn't. The university offered her a commission. In exchange for full tuition, room and board. To anyone else it would be an opportunity. But to Mid, who lost both her parents to war, it was a bit... But that should come as no surprise. She's only ever cared about bringing people hope.
Which explains her heirs. She's working to give them a better life. And so...
Ah, you've given them far more than that. And I'm sure they're very...
Seems the hideaway.
What am I gonna do?
Is everything all right, Goots? You seem more... discomposed.
Oh, I don't know what that means, but I'm in a bit of a muddle. Oh, I think Nan might be in trouble and she's...
It's all right.
There was a trader focusing she's been selling to bandits and cutthroats and that. I mean, she's fond of a chance to make a cut. She'd never do business with baddies. Especially not the kind who go hurting people who haven't done it. I wanted to ask her about it myself, but she'd never give your tongue a lashing, though.
Don't worry. I'll speak to her.
Oh, you'll let me know what she said?
Of course. Lady Karen.
Not nearly as foul as the weather.
You're doing good trade, then?
Can't complain. Wait, what exactly? Not once in 5 long years do you pay my affairs half a care. But here you are today, raking me over the coals like a bloody popoto.
Just asking. All right. I'm here because...
Oh, are you? And who was it who knows me so well as to tell tales of my evil exploit?
I didn't exactly hear. All I know is that someone in Dalamil...
And what? You believe it? You think I'm Look, I've done things I'm not proud of. Might be there were a time when I turned a blind eye to the wretchedness of the world so I could line me pocket, but that woman is no more. And you'd know that. If
You're right, Lady Karen. It was wrong of me to doubt.
No. I reckon you've got better things to do than pointing your do-good.
Of course. I spoke with Lady... that the rumors were unfounded. And that I was a fool for along with some other things. That while it sounds like she may have done things she...
I knew Nan wasn't caught. But why would people say she was?
No, but people do things for all sorts of reasons.
Well, that trader, he said they were all talking about her, and so that's where I'm going.
Are you sure that's wise? Whoever's spreading these rumors...
Oh, but that's why you...
The bandits may be no more,
It shouldn't be too hard to find goods.
The gentleman of the town guard.
Could be I know something more.
Clive! I found someone who says he's a...
Have you?
Go on.
All right. It's like I said. A wizened old crone by the name of Karen's been selling steel to whoever will pay her price. Says the more swords and spears she puts in people's hands, the more war they'll wage. And the more war being waged, the more call for swords. And who will they all turn to keep... Why, the good Reaper herself.
And you've seen this Reaper...
Aye, just so. You'll find her right here, plying her trade
Here in Dalamil. Where exactly?
She has a stall here in the market. But if you're not the patient type, you can probably... But it'd be a bolder man than me that braved that. Feeling bold, traveler? Now, if that's all...
Sorry to have...
You don't think Nan...
Not unless she's discovered the secret of how to be in two places at once.
Eh?
Lady Karen hasn't left the hideaway in weeks.
Good question.
And I'll visit this storehouse.
All right.
You too, Goots.
You fought very brave.
The safety of the town.
Time to brave the Viper's Nest.
Just you, is it?
It was a fairly unconvincing tale, so...
What? That's a die a slow death, boys. He's all yours. But that sword is mine.
They've can pretend this didn't happen. Too slow. Farewell.
Oh, you've done it.
Go on.
When the Borgwyn finds out you've killed his... He only wanted that bull of a manservant, the dim one always clinging to Karen's skirts. You weren't even supposed...
What were you going to do to him?
The Borgwyn wanted him to get to Karen. I was only supposed to point the lamp in the right direction once he arrived in... Then you turned up. Well, go on then.
You're not worth the effort.
Fucking coward!
I need to find Goots.
Get your filthy paws off me!
Stop calling me names! And stop spreading them horrible lies about...
For they are not lies. Every last word...
Goot.
He's gonna kill Nan! He said she had to pay...
After what she did, it is only right. That loathsome harpy's very existence is a crime. Goots, was it? Only with... Run along now.
No.
No?
I don't care what she did. I won't let you hurt Nan. Promise me you won't hurt her. Or I'll kill you myself!
Goots.
Enough!
But how did you?
You're a sight less clever than you think you are, the pair of you. Did you think I wouldn't notice the two of you slinking off together? Well, the whole thing got me thinking, who in Dalamil might bear me a grudge? And a certain snivelling shit I ran afoul of in my fairy years came to mind, though it was just... I thought the years might have taught you some sense. But I see you're the same pants-pissing craven you've always... What was it we called you?
You. Everything that happened, it was all your fault. And now you'll finally pay for what you did to me!
Goots, you...
If you want a piece of Nan, you'll have to go through me.
Fuck.
You great galoot. Out of the way, I can handle this myself. So, wet legs, you remember what you told me when we last met? An eye for an eye. Wise words, Sam. Wise words. And now, it's time to collect. Sorry to keep you waiting.
Is he...
Dead? No. But I reckon he wishes he was. It isn't easy going through life one eye short of a pair. After all, I should know.
You don't mean...
Oh, don't tell me you didn't notice. Lost it to old Wet Legs back when we were working the same route. Said I'd stolen from his strongbox. I'd done nothing of the sort, mind. But that didn't stop him taking his little revenge, so I took some of my own. Sorry, lost everything. His coin, his clients. Always knew he crossed a line dragging poor Goots into it. He didn't hurt you, did he?
No, Nan. Still got all my arms, see? Legs too, but...
What if he does? First we take the other eye, then we work our way down. He'll learn his lesson soon enough. But something tells me the wet right. Let's get you back to the hideaway. You've
Remind me never to cross you, Karen.
Nothing like a dish of cold...
I didn't mean to. I just thought I had to...
Aye, well, someone had to. Your parents certainly didn't give a whit for your well-being. Reckon the both of us would be worse off if I'd not taken you up. You've always been me right eye, Goots. And I'd have you stay that way. So don't you dare go looking for trouble again.
Well, I will. If you ever...
Why, you big low... Fine. Play the hero.
Thanks, Nan.
There's nothing he wouldn't do for you.
That's as maybe. But if he's ever to make his own, he'll need to start looking out for it. Till then, he'll need people to watch his back. Just like you did in Dalamil.
Of course.
Stop it. You make me one good eye, mister. I don't...
I'll be taking you all to a storehouse in the Bales. Leave anything you don't...
You know what you have to do. Clive, I fear that I must bid you as you know, our time grows short. The Lord Chief Justice's vultures are circling. Before we part, I want you to know that, though I may not always have been your most vocal ally, I trust...
Thank you. I appreciate the sentiment. And I understand more than anyone his revenge.
It is the one I found, and it is all that I have lived for.
But what of Lostwing? Everything.
I built Lostwing to achieve this aim. Once it is done, the village will have... My comrades and I are sure of our cause, and we shall fight to the last, come what. But there are those among us who cannot fight. Children, the elderly. I would place Lostwing in their hands, if I thought it would do them any good. But a village home only to the frail and the infirm is not likely to stay as safe. And so, Clive, will you take them to your hideaway, that they might live, even should Lost...
I will.
Thank you. I will not have it said that I did not see to the people I speak of have withdrawn to Gotan's Bales, away from danger in case...
Understood.
Then the last of my preparations, and may Griga guide us.
Come then, brother. We are awaited in Gotan's Bales.
faster!
I can walk from here. Everyone, Quentin is up. He can no longer guarantee your protection, but I can.
Well, if that's what the Master thinks best. Sid, none of us would be standing here today if it weren't for... We owe him our lives. So we ain't about to start telling him what... If he's saying we ain't safe in Lost Wing no more, and if that's what has to happen, then so be it. We get to see justice.
I hope so.
Oi! You lot! Where's everyone else? They ain't all...
They've gone with Master Quentin.
Oh, fuck.
What's wrong?
I've just come from the Justice's manor. It ain't just the Black Shields protecting the place. He's got a guard dog and all. A fucking monster. They're all gonna fucking die.
No. Sid! We can't let Quentin die.
All right. Where is this manor?
It's way over to the east. Through...
Promise us, Sid.
Let's go. Run like the wind.
Clive, look.
No. Don't tell me we're too late. Quentin, are you all right?
No. But I am alive. Which is more than I can say for my comrades. They followed me without question all the way here. And they died. For nothing.
This must be the guard dog. Quentin. I'll hold it off. You go.
But...
Your comrades didn't die for nothing. They died for you. Don't let their sacrifice be in vain.
I won't.
Come on, then.
That is no mere guard dog.
No. Just a rabid beast that needs to be put down. Nice try. Too slow. Nice try.
Over here!
Nice try.
If only we'd arrived early. Is it over?
It is. He wept and begged for mercy. And I cut him from ear to ear, just as I dreamed of doing all my plans. Building a haven in Lostwing, freeing bearers from their chains, and it was all for this. But what is this? Justice, my faithful comrades. All those lives lost. So that I...
Quentin.
Master Quentin! Oh!
You.
And so are you. It's Lostwing.
What? Lostwing. My Lostwing.
And look who's here.
They must have stolen in after we left, just before the flood struck. What if there are still people in there?
Don't be a fool! Damn it. Quentin's not going to last long in there.
Then we finish this quickly.
Get him! Over here! Get him!
need to get back to Quentin. Quentin! Quentin! Look at me! Thank the Founder. He hasn't turned. I'm going to get you out of here. Welcome back to the land of the living.
Is Lostwing?
The flood has filled the valley.
I see. Then all is at an end. A strange way to achieve one's life's ambition.
No, Master Quentin.
Why? All that I strove for is gone. Only emptiness remains. I have nothing left to live for.
What the heck are you on about? You've got us, ain't you? Don't try telling me you only freed us so you could get revenge. We're more than that to you.
I thought you weren't coming back, but I prayed and I prayed. And can't we just go back to how it was? You know, you looking after us all.
Your work ain't over yet, Master. We believed that you were the right man to lead us, and we still do.
Your village may be lost, so long as you remain to guide them.
But why? Why would anyone...
Because we're family.
Family?
Yeah. And all our comrades who went with you, they felt the same. Lostwing weren't just a village. It was all of us.
It was. And as long as we're still here, it is too.
We can start again. Build a new Lostwing, right here in the Bales.
A fresh start. One life ends, and another begins. Why just a village? We could build town. What's to stop us?
That's the Master Quentin.
Please. I am no Quentin. Will suffice, after all. We are family. Permit me to withdraw my request. I will no longer be needing your help in looking after my...
I'll pretend you never asked.
But you must be rewarded for your efforts on our behalf.
A bottle or two of your finest red will suffice.
Of course. And I have a feeling that this year's vintage will be the finest yet, if you don't mind waiting.
I look forward to it.
If we're going to do this, we'll need...
Clive, it just so happens that right at this very moment...
And what talents would those be?
Why, your fearlessness.
I'm listening.
Well, as I'm sure you're aware, when these dark skies swept over the Republic, so too did a wave of... Randalar has been particularly badly affected. Many of the capital's bearers, none remain free for long, of course. Most find themselves under the protection of the Fist, but the army too is in disarray, and finds itself unable to provide for its new charges. Which means it has been looking to sell.
And you've been looking to buy, to make sure these masterless bearers...
Precisely. It's the perfect opportunity to free dozens more, and for an attractive price, no less.
So where does my skill with a blade come in?
Though we may have the funds to buy these bearers, we have nowhere to house them. So we've been searching for a place where they can be resettled. Somewhere far from the prying eyes of those who would... And we believe we have found one. Cashlock. A small hamlet hidden in a... The place was abandoned a long time ago. But when the men moved...
And so we seek the aid of a fearless swordsman to encourage them.
How could I refuse?
Excellent. Theo, if you wouldn't mind making arrangements for the transportation of our guests, as we discussed.
Of course. Leave everything with me.
Sounds like you'll have your work cut out for you.
I will. We have an entire village to stock and furnish. Even if I begin right now, I'll be working day. So I'd better get started. Try to clear the place out before the wagons roll.
I'll do my bit.
You will find a village in Chairdra's Thread, past Lateney's Cleft. My man there will open the gate for you.
All right.
I'm sure you won't need it.
Come on. Faster!
This must have been a nice place once.
It will be again.
This one! Kill! Get him! This one! Get him! Every light!
think that's the last of them.
I think you're right. Let's head back to Boklat. Time to fight. Something the matter, Theodore? Quiet.
Those are our terms. I
shall.
Him again.
Someone you know?
Yes, but enough about him. How did you fare down in Cat?
It's done.
You made quick work of it.
I should go and let Eloise know.
Don't let me keep you. But Clive, she'll only get up. I'll explain everything once you've...
All right. Eloise, I just got back from Cashlock.
Thank you, Clive. Here. Well then, now that I suppose we'd better. The first thing we'll need to do is make sure our offer...
You're still in negotiation?
We are. A trusted colleague has been dealing with the Fist on our behalf, but things have... I suppose it's to be expected. This is the army we're dealing with, but we shall emerge victorious in the end.
Well, if you need any...
I'm not sure I do.
Ah, Clive.
You wanted to talk?
The man I was watching earlier, the one. He represents the Silver Peak Consortium. It's...
I don't think I've heard.
Well, every trader in Dharmekia has. They operate across the length, and they're still expanding. They've been trying, and judging by her reaction earlier, I'd say she had half a mind to accept their latest offer. I would rather she did what makes her happy. And I would never deny her such an opportunity. Eloise saved me from slavery. And we have... But this was not the life my sister... I won't let her give up on her dreams again. She freed me from my bonds, and she must be freed from hers in turn.
You're a good man, Theo.
I have always been grateful for what my sister did for me, and I want to repay the favor by letting her live her own life. But each time an opportunity to do just that arises, she turns it down.
She loves you.
And I love her. Which is why I want this time to be different. To show... Though I'm sure I'll still need some help from time to time.
Always.
Thank you, Clive. Well then, these bearers aren't going to move them. That's a job for the Crimson Caravan.
Opportunity beckons. Who among you... Is that blade for hire, perchance?
Figuratively, I hope.
Well, a passing caravan carried with it a rumor most fortuitous for one in my trade. That Red Evis are aggressive beasts. compelled as they are to acts of violence, few survive to maturity. But those that...
do you want to...
Eventually, yes. Though I would have it tanned first that it might be crafted. Dread Evis skin is a rare thing indeed. But the worked hide of a well-aged beast... Now, that would fetch Bring me that beast's skin, and I will share with you the bounty of our combined labors.
All right.
Of course you will. Leave Tabor through the east gate, but take the path that branches west. Once you reach the checkpoint at Toven, I eagerly await your safe...
Careful how you pack that leather.
You! Finally.
Is something wrong?
At the university, the students would hang on my every word. Sadly...
The university?
A specialist in ancient cultures. The most... In my heyday, no obstacle could have kept me from my studies. Yet here I am, a wizened, the answers I seek lying. Just would you do an old man a kindness and brave the stairs in my...
Climb the stairs and...
And memorize a few some courteous soul is rumored to have carved clues to Tabor's rich history. 3 of them, to be precise. 1 each to the north, south, and east. I'm here in the hope that those carving, namely the otherwise undocumented
I can't promise I'll remember everything,
but remember what you can. I'll piece together the rest. Make for the...
How are those new boots treating you?
That Cyril fellow's an odd fish, don't you think?
No history would be complete without mention of the mother crystals.
Back to how it was. I don't like it.
Nor do I, dearie.
Beneath the flood.
Here's the scraps.
What golden plains might the wanderers have called home, I wonder? Farmers must have settled here in Tabor. I should speak to the old scholar before I forget everything I've read.
Careful how you pack that leather.
The engravings were...
Oh, what did I... Come, don't... let's start with...
Guardians of the Crystal. The first stones of Tabor. I'm pretty sure that was...
Fascinating. It would seem, but whatever could have the engraved.
Wanderers of the Golden Plains, lay your roots in stone, or I think...
No doubt you're right. There are vestiges of nomadic customs. This is proving...
Children of the Hunters, now tillers of the land. That's all three.
And so, we add primitive 3 engravings. Guardians of the Mother Crystal? Wanderers from a... Little wonder it was so difficult to trace the roots of Tabor's culture. Nonetheless, one cannot help but wonder why this fact is not...
Too many stairs, perhaps.
Ha! Too many...
How are those new boots?
Soft as Phoenix.
Careful how you pack that leather.
Free cities. Well met, stranger.
Straight home. Old he may be, but it looks like there's still plenty of fight in him yet. Here's your hide.
I worried you might never return. Oh, as supple as a maiden's cheek. Yet, as clearly my trust in you was not misplaced. You must be a hunter of join me as my honored partner. With my means and your...
I don't plan on making a habit of this.
Very well. Though I believe fate had a hand in our meeting, it would do not allow me to keep you from being about your...
Did you see the pair that got pulled?
Rutherford. Wasn't that the name of my uncle's manservant? Where would he be at Martha's Rest?
My lord, Marquis, is that... It is you. Then I am Sebastian Rutherford, Chief.
Of course.
Yes, my lord.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did...
It's all right.
I am here at Martha's Rest, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals, the subsequent darkening of the heavens, has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, the gears of governance have ground to a halt. And without us, the realm threatens to drift. Your lord, uncle, however...
That sounds like...
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues.
Alas.
I have lost contact with... They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword. Yet in these dark times, even that may not...
So you want me? I'll need to know whether...
One I sent to investigate the...
That doesn't exactly narrow it down.
Thank you, my lord.
It's not going to be easy finding one man in an entire republic. Let's hope someone here's seen something.
Mummy?
The gentleman of the town...
Ready, go?
Yeah!
Someone's got himself in trouble.
I don't see your master here, so you can start by giving us all the coppers.
I already told...
Then maybe we'll take that...
Please! These men...
I'll deal with this.
Thank you.
You that one's master. If you kindly pay the coin he owes us.
Or you can go back to your garrison and I won't report you to your captain.
Oh, you're more than welcome to. He hasn't had many visitors since we slit his throat.
I'd expect as much from Hugo's faithful, but these were men of the fist.
Much has changed in the Republican army since they lost their rock.
You've seen this kind of thing before, then?
Many times. I was sent here...
You're one of Rutherford's men. He sent me to look for you.
Well, then you have my thanks. I fancy I could defend myself against one, perhaps two, but I arrived in Dalimil several days ago, but when I called upon the captain of his men confiscated my...
The captain is no more.
Fortunately, I was able to bribe my way free.
What of the Fist's central command? Surely they wouldn't allow such lawlessness amongst...
I would imagine they are unaware of it. Most of the army has fallen back to the capital, and those who weren't recalled now rule the fringes unchecked, answering to no one but the...
Then it's worse than we imagined. You should return to Rosaria.
I'll find a caravan heading north. You won't mind if I...
Not at all. Now, if he was bound for Oriflamme... There's a lot of road between here and the capital. Rutherford's man could be anywhere. What happened here?
If you're with they've already relieved me.
I'm not.
Then you found him. I'm Alistair Rockford, attendant to the Lady Ariane of House Wellesley.
Of the 7 high houses of Rosaria. It's been a long time since last I saw my great-aunt. Is she well?
My Lord Marquis? Yes. Yes, she is. The Lady Dowager has granted me leave to assist you. I was on my way back from the old capital when I saw...
Bandits.
They looked more like field hands. It didn't matter in the end. I did what I could to help the victims, but all it earned me was a pump.
Which way did they go?
South, toward the gate.
All right. Founder knows I've met enough of their kind. You head back to Northreach. Visit...
Thank you.
They just couldn't resist, could they?
This one's ours, pretty boy.
Make for the town while you can. There may be more bandits nearby.
You don't need to tell me twice. Many thanks, traveler.
This looks to be all of them.
I thought I told you to make for the Vale.
And stand by as ill.
It's just Clive, which is more than can be said for you.
I will survive.
Strange that the garrison wouldn't intervene in such a break.
The garrison have their hands full inside the city. There are few hands left to work the fields, and even the market stalls are nearly bare, and the price for what remains is exorbitant. It's not uncommon to see a fight. When I said the ones who attacked me didn't have the look of bandits, I meant it.
Rockford, if you are to continue, you first need to seek the attention of
I shall return to Northreach, but allow me to thank you first.
Don't thank me.
I suppose he'll be wondering where I shall send a Bistolus as soon...
My uncle certainly has his work cut out for him. I should go and tell Rutherford that his colleagues are still in... I see you're still here.
The Rest's location affords a constant... Speaking of which, I received word from both my associates. They have...
I only happen to be in the right place at the right... They both seem to think the realm's prospect...
I am afraid that Storm is in crisis. And if we are to free her, we must work together.
As it is mine. Sounds like thunder.
You're late. We're starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
I seem to recall that was you, Gav.
Good to see you. Any trouble on the road?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come. Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Midadol, but everyone calls me Mid.
My lady.
Hey?
My boy.
Uncle Byron.
It's really you. I never thought I'd see the day.
So these Akashic are being controlled?
That's what it looked like. Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned, but silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in the city. They moved in ranks with a purpose, and not of their own.
Ultima's doing.
Perhaps.
What of the city? The people?
Dead, mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock themselves in their villas before the Horde arrived. Some in the Merchants' District to the west, and a few others on the far bank.
If the Akashic stumble across either hiding place, a few bolted doors won't hold them for long. We need to find them. And quickly.
What do you propose?
We split into two parties. I will make for the Merchants' District, while you look to those across the river. Mind keeping an eye on my brother?
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood.
And what of us?
Mid, is she fit to sail?
The ship, the Mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
You leave that to me.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that?
I'll keep him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rossfield, you little gutter snipe!
Shall we then?
And you keep Clive safe.
Be careful. Both of you.
You too.
All right, Torgal. Let's find those survivors. They don't stand a chance against those things. They've been routed. They're wearing Waluda armor. Too slow. Let's try.
Over here!
What happened to the Royal Army? There's nothing but monsters here. That sounded big. Joshua and Jill must be busy. Nice try. Agora, where the city's leaders gather. There may still be survivors inside. Where are they? These creatures. Does Ultima's reach extend this far? What the hell is going on here?
This one. Where is your master? What does he want? Kill! Get him!
You've caused quite the commotion. But then I would expect no less from you, Muthos.
You again. I don't believe we've been introduced. You were in my family's crypt, and now you're here, with an army of Akashic thralls.
Manners, Lord Rossfield? They are men, like you and me. Albeit ones unburdened by the wills that drive our kind to madness. They are pure. They are divine.
What?
And they are all that remains in this once raucous city.
You'll pay for what you've done.
As you wish. I confess I have been very much looking forward to this. Pardon me this indulgence, Your Majesty. The vessel shall not be spoiled. I am Sleipnir of House Harvard, and you will yield. Or not. As long as you don't hold back.
trick.
Fuck. You will forgive me if my performance seems uninspired. It is just that I expected so much more from our chosen one. Perhaps this will kindle your flame?
What now?
A gift from my liege lord's armory. Gungnir. Watch closely, Mythos. Yes! Yes! Get her!
Too slow.
Seldom enough.
Would you not agree? Actually, I wouldn't. Too slow. Nice try. Too slow.
The vessel is strong. My liege.
Clive!
You're all right.
As are you, I see.
We are, yes.
I'm sorry, but we couldn't save them.
It was over before we arrived.
Well, you did what you could. I fear we were all too late. What's wrong?
Nothing. I hope.
Leaving so soon, Mythos?
It's the king.
Indeed. You may kneel before Barnabas Tharm, Warden of Ash and King of Waloed.
Get back.
Wild and impetuous. I expected more of the boy who bested my Lord Commander. Yet I see why my master covets you so. The power within you, Mythos. The potential.
Stop calling me Mythos.
But Mythos is everything. The cornerstone of all creation. The Lord's vessel. Your purpose.
My purpose? To surrender my mind and body to that thing. No, Your Majesty. My purpose is my own. I made a promise to my friends, to my people. And nothing is going to stand in my way.
You would allow this delusion of free will to bar your path to greatness? Truly, your volition is a cancer. One that must be excised.
Try it.
As weak as all the rest.
Joshua!
Oi! Oi! This way! Hurry!
Power beyond reckoning, and they use it as a crutch. Such a waste.
Will he be all right?
The phoenix can mend flesh, but the spirit must recover on its own. I'm afraid the rest is up to him. This place is remarkable. Outfitting it must have been no small feat. But why go to such trouble?
That beauty's belly's filled with wonders the world ain't ready for. If the guilds caught wind of what we're up to, they'd all want a piece. All right?
And how is he?
Do not blame yourself. He was barely breathing when you brought him here. We would have lost him if it were not for you.
No. Barnabas may have severed nigh every sinew in my brother's body. But he made certain the wounds were not fatal.
Nigh every sinew?
Allow me. Your lordship. Don't know what I was thinking, putting you to the trouble like that.
'Tis no trouble carrying comestibles to my ailing nephew.
I know, but you've already done so much for us. Pouring your gil into the hideaway and now the ship. I don't want to take the piss.
You risked your life. And for what? Some girl you hardly know. Why'd you do it? You not mad or something?
I wouldn't go that far.
Clive!
You're awake. My boy. Oh.
All I want to do is help. And the world won't save itself. It was Sid. Your father, who taught me that.
Sounds like him.
Don't you dare do that again.
What of the Royalists?
Fucked off, the lot of them, along with the galleon. With the king on board, no doubt. The Iron Hair wouldn't sail without him. Clive. Jill didn't come back.
What do you mean?
She kept the king busy while the others dragged you out.
It's all right, Mid. Jill is fine.
The ether of her icon endures. And as long as it does, we can be certain she is alive.
We must pursue the Black Galleon. Jill will be with the king, I'm sure of it.
Well, good luck catching him, because my ship's going nowhere. It's the Mithril engine. She's got a kick like a wild chocobo and a mind to tear the hull in half.
But you have an idea.
Well, of course I do. My dad'll have seen this coming a league off. If I had his old writings...
If you had his old writings, you'd be sitting under a fuckload of rubble. The ones Otto didn't save anyway. I suppose he might still have a few pages in his stores.
We'll have to hope it's enough. Do what you can to ready the ship. I'll speak with Otto.
In your condition, you really are mad.
Perhaps. But the world really won't save itself. Right. Gav said that Otto might know something.
Cole said it was an army.
How are we supposed to do our duty? Fancy a look at the list, do you? Here you go. Seen enough?
Clive? Biff, where the hell is everyone else?
They're all right.
You lot don't do things by halves, do you? Well, at least everyone's still breathing. Now, as for these writings, I'm sorry to say, Clive, but if you had those, you'd be...
Sitting under a pile of rubble, I know.
But we were able to save a few bits and pieces from the ruins, most of which ended up being used to build this place. The more personal items we gave to the next of kin. In the case of Sid's things, that would have been Mid.
Then I'll check the workshop.
if Amber and the lads...
Do you think Mid's ship will ever sail?
This looks like it's from Sid's old diary. But you'll already have read it. I'd better keep looking. What do we have here? Oh. Sid's pipes. Something tells me Mid won't be needing these.
We've had no word from Canva for days.
I remember seeing this doll in Sid's cellar. I wonder if it was Mid's. Huh. What's this tucked inside it? Sid's best invention. Huh. That sounds promising. So Sid hid something in Mid's first opus. But what would that be? Perhaps Otto might know.
Well, did you find anything?
Possibly. You wouldn't happen to know what Mid's first opus was?
Opus? That girl's as tone deaf as a banshee, unless you mean the orchestrion. She couldn't have been more than, what, 11, 12 when she cobbled that thing together? It surprised us all, not least her dad. You should have seen how proud he was of the little scamp. What's that battered old box have to do with anything?
I think Sid may have hidden something inside it.
Wouldn't surprise me. Those two and their bloody treasure hunts. Half the things in the hideaway were hidden one time or another.
I didn't break it. Well, I didn't break it.
What didn't you break?
Nothing. We didn't break nothing. We definitely didn't break the orchestrion.
What's wrong with it?
It's broken. Except when it isn't. See?
And you had nothing to do with this?
Nope, nothing. We just wanted to listen to all the songs at once. So we pressed all the buttons. Like this. See?
All too well. All right, out of the way. Something caught on one of the gears.
Did you break it? Can you fix it?
No, I mean, yeah, yes. There. How about now?
You fixed it! Sid fixed it! He more than fixed it! Yeah, new music.
Huh. Never heard this one before.
They started playing when I removed this. Whatever it is.
Well, don't look at me. I can tell you it's important, though. Sid showed it to me once and said as much. Said it was the stuff dreams were made of. Let's just hope it's the stuff ships are made of as well.
Indeed. Let's see if we can make some dreams come true.
Just the two I was looking for.
Aye. Lose a patient?
Actually, yes. The Crown Prince just left.
Dion left?
Unless you've another word for stood up and walked off. Yes, left. He did have the decency to leave a message with Obelisk before commandeering one of his dinghies. Should we go after him?
No. We're not the Prince's keepers. He's free to do as he sees fit.
I'd rather he did so in bed. His wounds are nowhere near healed. Much like yours, I suspect. Otto told me what happened in Canver. What is it with this realm's princes and their aversion to rest?
Ask me when I get back. Though I may be sometime.
Then at least try to stay safe.
And if that fails, try to stay alive, eh?
Every moment I waste here, the further the flagship sails. I have to get back.